Okay. I'm Patty Culpa, and these are our children. This is Thomas, he's 18, and Mary is 20, and our youngest, Alyssa, is 15. We have two other children that are not here. Michael is 21, and Lauren is 24. And we have been volunteering with Kurt, my husband, for the last 25 years.
My name is Kurt Culpa, and I have been volunteering for Meals on Wheels for the last 25 years. It seems like a long time, but hindsight looks pretty short when I go back and kind of look at all the great times I've had. First started out 25 years ago after my first daughter was born. It was coming Lent time, and I was going to give up pizza for Lent, and my wife decided that, or said to me, she goes, "You're really disciplined." She goes, "That's not hard for you." She goes, "Why don't you do something like donate your time?" I'm like, "For who and what?" And she goes, "Well, Meals on Wheels just had an ad on the radio and they were looking for volunteers." She goes, "Why don't you give them a call?" So I thought, okay, I'll do that. So sure enough, I called down there and became a volunteer some 25 years ago. And so it's been a great experience, and if it wasn't for my wife, I never would have gotten involved in this great organization for the last 25 years.
What inspired us to help with Meals on Wheels was really Kurt's determination to do this and to be a volunteer with the agency. So we tend to do everything as a family, and the family's very close. We like to kind of know what's going on with each other. And so we decided once he was coming home and telling us all the stories of delivering and the fun he was having, that we would do it with him. So that really is his commitment, is what inspired us.
What I think inspired us as a family to work together is really the fact that I saw what we were doing out in the community. When I first got involved in Meals on Wheels, I thought we just delivered meals to the homebound, but I realized it was a whole lot more. There was client services going on, there was nutrition that was behind the scenes, there was a lot of things going on. I really saw what was happening. And I really saw the need in Tarrant County, and as my kids saw me haul out my cooler once a week to go deliver meals, they always asked me, "Where are you going, Dad?" And I said, "Well, come on along, we're going to find out." And it really turned out to be a great bonding time for my kids, and we got to spend a lot of time. We got to talk about a lot of things, clients that we saw and what their situations were, and they learned a lot about life. And as things moved on, they got involved more in the events and participating in that. And as a family, we decided to make that a goal, just really due to the fact we saw what it was doing for the populace of Tarrant County.
The most rewarding moments for our family, I think the kids would agree, is probably when Kurt was selected to be chairman of the board. I know he's a very humble person, and he'd always tell us, "I love delivering. I really don't like meetings, and I don't like sitting around." And when they finally discovered, though, that he did have a CPA background and he really does have a business mind too, when they asked him to do that, we were very proud of him for that, and we knew it was a time commitment too. And he did that, and he's very, very level-headed, and I think that's what they appreciated about having him there, and plus the fact that he was a volunteer also. So I think that was one of our proudest moments. And as they expand and move on, I know there's going to be other moments that will come up too.
For the last 25 years, I've been able to serve in a lot of capacities at Meals on Wheels. First, initially as a volunteer. Second, I was able to get involved in the Northeast Council for Meals on Wheels, which we really concentrate in the Northeast area of Tarrant County. And from there, I was able to get voted onto the board and ultimately chairman of the board for the last 3 years. And each of those occasions, I've been able to work with some of the greatest people I've ever met. Very committed, very dedicated to the cause. And it really, the rewarding aspect was to know that maybe I was a little small piece of the action, and that we were making an impact in Tarrant County, and that, gosh, I got to be part of that.
I think we've always been a family that just does whatever needs to be done to get the job done. And so when Kurt would come home and say, this client had leaves in their gutter and they were needed to be cleaned out, Thomas and Michael, our older son, would go over there. They would mow lawns. Mary actually was in Los Angeles a couple summers ago, and she actually interned for Meals on Wheels in Los Angeles, which was a great experience for her. And Alyssa gets to go above and beyond. When it's ever raining out, I always take someone with me because I, of course, don't want to get out of the car when it's raining. So lovely Texas weather, though. That's not too often, especially this last year. But then, so I make them go up to the door, and I just drive around. So that's kind of a a fun thing to do. And that's a little above and beyond what they'd have to do normally.
The most rewarding moment for me, I can just not put it down into one particular instance. There has been so many. Like I said earlier, I've really served as delivering meals, served on committees, and served as chairman of the board. But the biggest thing is I worked with tremendous people. And it doesn't matter what aspect they were, everything from, we have a tremendous board of directors that are very active. I loved working with them. I loved working with our executive director, who has really taken this from a small little agency to be one of the premier in the United States today. And I've had the privilege of working with her and all of her directors. So really, they've all been rewarding. They've been a lot of fun. We sure have had a great time over the last 25 years, or I still wouldn't be here if it wasn't such a great time.